there was times that it was real, but then there was a lot of times where it would just be like fake groups, and it'd be like, hey, if you give me like if you like give us like Bitcoin, we'll give you this many other tokens and this, and it's like this is what we're gonna think that it's gonna be like when it first comes out, kind of situation. People got burned on it all the time.
And it's just the clip. What's going on, guys? It's Randy, and I'm here today with Talon. And
First time on Just the Clip.
oh, yeah, it is. It's his
It is.
first time on Just the Clip. Gotta love it. Um, all right, so we got a good one for you guys today. We're gonna be talking about when, kind of how like when things seem too good to be true, usually they are. I know it's kind of like an old cliche saying, but it's kind of an old cliche saying for a reason. And yeah, we're gonna kind of get into that a little bit, kind of some examples of that where you can maybe kind of see the forest for the trees. Oop, there's another cliche right there.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Yeah. um, so kind of what I wanted to get into a little bit today was just like, especially you have a lot of kind of scam phone calls going around, especially now with all like the COVID stuff, and a lot of people kind of don't have anything better to do. And I think a lot of people are getting hurt by, scam phone calls, like some of them bad, some of them good. I just kind of think it's important to address that, especially with our younger and older community. I think it's something that the younger community can address to the older community who probably wouldn't be seeing us talk about this. Um, but Talon, what do you think about that kind of stuff? I know we run into that a lot. You get the calls all the time.
Yeah, it feels like just like those calls, it feels like that's just more and more common nowadays. Like I probably get a spam call a few times a week, and especially like you said, like right now with COVID and everything, people are vulnerable, people are in economic issues and everything like that, especially because like stimulus checks are a thing. So like I think like this time last year I was getting phone calls like, "Oh, like if the I like send us your bank account information to get your like the second stimulus check," stuff like random stuff like that. I'm sure people that don't follow the news, they could easily fall for stuff like that every once in a while. Especially like you said, older communities, younger people, just they just don't know better at times. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of scary too because they're getting better at it, and like some of them are obvious. You get that. I think the most common one everybody gets is the car's extended warranty, and I'm like, bro, I drive an '07 Jeep. There's no warranty on that anymore.
yeah,
um,
I yeah, I drive my 97 Ranger. I'm just like
yeah,
I hear that I'm instantly like my extended warranty has been finished like 20 years
yeah,
ago. What are
like
you
a long
talking
time,
about?
like long time. Um, so I think it's definitely something to watch out for because I actually had a coworker. She almost got scammed by one recently, where I guess they said somebody bought like an iPod or something or a iPad on her Amazon account, and the whole call seemed like very legitimate. And I was actually in the room when she was on the call, and I was going back and forth while I was listening. I was like, this is fake, and I was like, maybe it's not fake. And then, of course, she went and checked all of her accounts, and there was like no missing money. There was no purchase made on her Amazon account. But, for a couple minutes, she was like, oh shit, somebody actually like hacked my Amazon, took the money. Um, so I think a lot of them are getting better. And I think as it gets better, I think people have to be a little more vigilant about, like what they, they kind of address and like who they give their information to, because I think it gets harder and harder to differentiate between the fake stuff and the real stuff.
Yeah, and just real fast, if no one knows like the terminology for like these examples that we're giving, it's called phishing attempts or just phishing scams, whatever you want to call it. It's phishing because at the end of the day, if you do reply to these things, they want your information. They want to steal your identity. They want to be able to get into certain accounts or something like that. And it's very hard to tell the difference sometimes, especially for like some companies, like if I don't know your email, like sometimes their emails like that they send out for like privacy reasons, they're not very good, and neither are these phishing attempts. They just look like they are low quality, but sometimes the actual companies are low quality emails too. So I know it was like a few years back, I think it was I was like, if anyone knows like the credit bureaus, I think it was like Experian. They had like kind of like a leak on some like information for some of their customers, and I was part of that. So there was a class action lawsuit, and I saw that email. I'm just like, oh, this is totally fake, because it was just like it was just text, like nothing else about them. Like, this is totally fake. Then I did more research and it was real. So like it's just really hard to tell the difference. And even if you're someone that's kind of techie and stuff like that, you might not be able to tell the difference very easily. So
Yeah,
people
exactly.
people are good.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are good. I mean, some people are good, and then on the other token, some people are very, I guess, ignorant to these things. Like, if you get a phone call from the IRS, and for people out there who don't know this, the IRS isn't going to call you. They'll send you things in the mail, and then if you don't reply to those things in the mail, the sheriff's department will show up at your house. Like, you're not
Yeah.
going to get a phone call from the IRS, and they're not going to ask you for your account numbers and your social security number over the phone.
Yeah, the IRS isn't exactly known for their customer service, so they're not going to be calling you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's one big one. Or like a lot of ones you hear about are winning the lottery in foreign countries. That's a big one that people fall for a lot. Where you'll get a call or an email. It's like, oh, congratulations, you've won the Nigerian lottery. If you send us your bank account numbers, we'll send you the money you won.
Yeah,
Um,
or have you ever gotten like the scratch tickets in the mail or something like it's like the fake scratch tickets, and like you can actually scratch them off. It's like, "Oh, you're a winner. Call this number to receive your prize." It's like,
oh, I actually
"No.
haven't got one of those. That's
You've
interesting.
never gotten those?"
No.
I used to get them like all the time. They're kind of fun because I mean, you still get to scratch them off. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know that this is fake, but I'm still
It's
gonna
like I'm gonna
I
do
want
it
to see that
anyway.
I want to see that I'm a winner.
Yeah.
So
um, but yeah, I mean that's another big one, or the foreign lotteries, or you get the ones where people reach out to and they go, "Oh, I'm a millionaire in Russia, but I can't get a hold of my bank account. If you send me $500, I'll send you $1 million once I get into my account." I mean, I would think to most people you can realize that that's fake, but there's a lot of people, and especially I would say more especially in our older community, that are a little less wise to some of the tech stuff, that would fall for something like this. And now suddenly, grandma is out $500, and then maybe more depending on if they get her bank account numbers.
yeah,
So I
who
think it's
knows? Yeah, probably
something.
probably
Yeah,
their identity was stolen. Guess what? Grandma doesn't know how to fix those
yeah,
issues. So
exactly. So I mean, definitely it's something I think younger people should talk about with the older generations. I mean, you hear about it all the time with that particular case, but I think younger kids too. I mean, you get younger kids who, it might be gullible or naive or maybe in a bad situation. And if somebody tells them, hey, send us your bank account number because you just won $2 million in the, Bolivian lottery, there's a good chance they're gonna go, hell yeah, 2 million bucks. Here's my bank numbers. Here you go.
yeah,
Um, so like that kind of stuff is scary. And I mean, even stuff, when you look on like Craigslist and eBay and even Amazon, just do a lot of research on what you're buying. Like for instance, I was actually telling Talon about this before we recorded. When I was in college, like early on in college, and I was looking to get a car, I would see these, I would see like it'd be like a 2012 Nissan Maxima for like $5,000, and it was like 2013. So it's like a brand new car for like 5 grand. And like I would message the people pretty much knowing that it was fake. And then, they'd answer back and be like, oh yeah, if you send the money to my Google account, I'll have it towed to you and all this stuff. When you see something like that, that's red flag, automatic. They just want your money. You're not getting a car. You're not getting a brand new car for $5,000. Um,
yeah.
However, there was one. It was a really nice Jeep, and they were selling it for like something stupid, like $1,200. It was kind of older, but it was in really nice shape. And the guy was like, "I got divorced from my wife, and I got this car in the settlement, and it was like her prized possession. Now I'm gonna sell it for cheap just to spite her."
That's awesome.
I was like, "I'm not gonna buy that car because I don't need like this person tracking me down and trashing my car or some shit." But
She
yeah, I
wants
mean,
revenge.
it's not just people, reaching out about, you owe the IRS money or you won the lottery. Like it could be as simple as buying a product. Like you just have to be very careful who you buy from and what you buy from. Like typically when I buy off of like Amazon or eBay, I don't buy from people unless they're like accredited user.
Yeah. And even now, like I was on Facebook Marketplace just yesterday looking at like I think I was looking at like some like miter saws and stuff like that. And like I saw stuff all the time. Like it would be like tools, it'd be cars, it'd be like furniture and stuff like that. It's like you know that these things are worth significantly more, but they'd be like, I don't know, like they'd be selling like a saw for like $10. I'm just like, something's up. And then like you know that if you message that person, they'd be like, oh yeah, it's actually like 100. I just put that for so I get more inquiries or
Yeah.
other stuff too. And yeah, there's stuff like that all the time. People just
Bear.
my dog coughed next to me.
Oh, hi, Bear.
Yeah. And then even for some other times, so like if you ever get into stuff like investing, you can get random people do like group messaging and all the time, especially like back in like 2016 when crypto was like really big. People would have like WhatsApp groups and everything, so you can be like a private investor for like new cryptos. And like this was actually a thing, so like before like cryptos would be like released, you could be part of like their like ICOs, actually before their ICOs. So like you can invest into 5 Bitcoin will give you this many other tokens and this. And it's like, this is what we're going to think that it's going to be like when it first comes out kind of situation. People got burned on it all the time.
Yeah.
It's of course it's, I mean, it's what this topic is. Too good to be true. Of course, like, yeah, it's like I'll give you like $5,000 and you're promising me that I'm going to get like $100,000 within a year. It's just like, something's
Yeah.
kind of sketchy. But like it was really well. Like I know I was part of like this one group, and they had a website, they had white pages. And if you don't know what a white page is, it's like every company, pretty much most cryptos and everything, but pretty much only companies have these white pages. And it's basically to say like it's like their mission statement. And it could be like 100, like this one was like 100 pages, and like almost all companies have white pages. And so it was very believable, but it's like no. And like a year later I looked into it, it's like, yeah, it was completely a scam, but it was very
Yeah.
believable. So
Yeah, so I mean, you really got to do your research. I think if there's one thing that kind of plays, wow, I lost my train of thought. If there's kind of like one thing that is like the running lesson here, it's lessons learned. Do your research and kind of be skeptical, especially when you're talking about your money and like giving somebody your money for whatever the reason. Be skeptical, do your research. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Because a lot of people get burned again, especially in this kind of day and age where, you have a lot of people that don't have anything better to do at the time. So what are they doing? They're looking for ways to make money. They're looking for ways to scam people out of money. And in a time where the scams are getting, a lot harder to recognize. So make sure you're just kind of being mindful. Talk to your older community, talk to your grandparents and even your parents in some cases, and just kind of let them know that this is a thing. Because I think there are a lot of, I think a lot of you are going to watch this and be like, yeah, everybody knows this. But I really think there's a big part of the community that doesn't know this, and I think needs to know this, because I think if enough of the community knew it, they wouldn't continue to do it.
Yeah, just make it a habit to do your research when you come over, like when you find stuff like this, and you'll just get to the point where you just organically protect yourself from these situations. Organic.
He said it. Chris, he said it.
Where is he? Oh.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so, I think that's a great point. I think the whole thing is just, be mindful, especially with your money. We've done a lot of episodes on, finances and investing, and being mindful with your money is kind of a running theme. And I think this is, equally important as far as being mindful of your money. So hope you guys all took something out of this. I hope you can pass this along to other people so that they don't fall into the same traps that, you have, or maybe others that are around you have. And it's been Just a Clip.
Yeah.